My name is Jonathan Renee, and this is Mean America. Tonight we will be discussing one of the most controversial topics of our time, the $20 bill. I like it, you like it, we all need it, it's money. But the man on it, Andrew Jackson, is he a person truly deserving of such recognition? No, I don't think so. When most people think of Andrew Jackson, they think of the common man, ladies' man, and aggressive man, but, never had any real faults in life. But this same man plastered on our $20 bill is also a man known as Indian destroyer, slave owner, and political tyrant.
Jackson was a man of great contradiction. He was described as a democratic autocrat, a patriot, and a traitor. While he fought for America in the Revolutionary War and the War of 1812, political endeavors such as getting rid of the National Bank and replacing several government officials with his friends mostly benefited himself.
Another issue that makes Jackson unfit to be on the $20 bill is his dealings with people. He once got in a duel because a man insulted his wife. Now, I can understand you wanting to defend her honor, but getting in a duel and killing someone over, calling her, not as attractive, that just shows his immaturity and his inability to deal with the situation. Hey Jackson, when you're president, you have to deal with criticism, no matter what. So get with the program. Now, aside from the way he dealt with people that insulted his wife, the way he dealt with his vice president and his vice president's concerns is also another issue that shows that he is incapable of realizing that he needs to try and suit the needs of everyone if you're going to be president. Him and Calhoun, their relationship was,
Jackson and Calhoun, their relationship was easy to describe. They hated each other. One of Calhoun's main issues was that he was a senator from South Carolina. He felt that Jackson was not concerned for the welfare of the other states, mainly with the way he allowed canals and railroads to be focused to the north.
The Tariff of 1828 reduced the amount of British goods sent to the United States. The British bought less cotton, which thus forced the South to buy more expensive goods from the North. All this led to Calhoun's nullification of the tariff. He didn't think that Jackson should have the ultimate power he believed he was entitled to.
Our next point, the Indians. But first, I think we need to stop addressing them as the Indians, because they are Native Americans. They were here first, they owned this land. Or, not necessarily, they believed that they were borrowing this land because no one can really put their flag in the ground and say, oh, I own this. So, we need to talk about how Jackson decided that he would deal with the Native American
Even
issue.
after the courts ruled in their favor, Jackson went against the courts and took it upon himself to remove the Indians. The IRA, the Indian Removal Act, was set up by Jackson and used to push them out of Georgia. He pushed them west into the Trail of Tears. 1 in 4 Indians died on the long journey. 4,000 of the 1,600 perished.
4,000 of 16,000 people. That's 4,000 men, women, and children, all innocent, that had to die because selfish old Jackson had to push them out of the land that they had a right to. And this man is worthy of being on the $20 bill? I think not. Finally, we're going to talk about the slaves. But I don't even know why we're talking about this, because America, at least to me, thinking that America built on the idea of all men are born free, I don't know why we have the notion of slavery, because, since it's okay to change the definition of a man, I don't know. But, I think Jackson was wrong. And so a proud and known slave owner, why are we rewarding that by putting him on the money? He needs to go.
Someone more qualified to be on the $20 bill would be Frederick Douglass. Born to a slave mother and an unknown white man, Frederick Douglass did not have an easy childhood. He spent most of his life with his grandparents and aunt and only saw his mother 4 or 5 times before her death when he was 7 years old. As Frederick got older, he was more and more exposed to the brutality of slavery. He was sold to a notorious slave breaker, Edward Covey. After being beaten and barely fed, Douglass made a plan to be a free man by the end of the year.
Despite the fact that Frederick's plan was discovered, he still managed to escape to the north. And when he got to the north, he didn't see this as an opportunity to enjoy his freedom, but he saw it as an opportunity to expand and use his free voice to share with others. In addition to protesting for the rights of African Americans, he went on to protest for the rights of women and other African Americans alike. So we talked about one candidate, Frederick Douglass, who would obviously be a better option to be on the $20 bill, but someone that I think also, made a huge difference in history and would also be a great, person to recognize for their achievements is Martin Luther King Jr. How do I do that? Look at that. You see that money right there? It's crazy. But, like I was saying, great candidate, great guy, and without fault, not a slave owner, not an Indian hater, and especially not a dueler. At the end of the day, what we get from this is that nobody needs Jackson on the $20 bill. He is a bad example because of his dealings with the slaves, his dealings with the Indians, and his dealings with people in general. The way he likes to duel people when they insult his wife. Look, buddy, I think your wife's ugly. That's it.
I want to kill everybody in the world. 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 I want to kill everybody in the world.
Good evening. Oh, God, for real? For real, dude? Like, all right, shh. It's still rolling. Just let it eat America. Tonight, we will discuss butts. It's controversial topics of our time. The $20 bill. Yo, for real though? Like, it doesn't matter. I just flipped it over.
Wait, is that a wrong topic?
Jackson and Calhoun, their relationship was easy to describe. They hated each other.
No. I'm sorry. No, okay, look. Like, you gotta read it like they did it in the video. It's like, the people, they were like, Jackson and Calhoun, their relationship, it was easy to describe. They hated each other. Like, you gotta just feel it.
Yeah, but I can't see though. That's why, like. Oh, this should go in the bloopers.
This is all in the bloopers.
No, I'm not putting any bloopers in. I don't have time for that.